welcome back to another episode of the 3 Yards in a Cloud of Dust NFL podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and with me as always, my co-host, Jonathan.
It's day 3 plus day 7. Day 3 of the AFC, which is AFC East, and day 7 of the breakdown.
Yep, yeah. So we've done 6 out of the 8 divisions so far. We have 2 more to go.
We have East and West. East is today, West is tomorrow.
Yep. And so with that, without further ado, let's jump right in with the Buffalo Bills winning the division last year with a record of 13-3. Now, they did have an offensive ranking of 2nd and a defensive ranking of 14th. But here's the thing. I think a lot of people actually expected them to go 14-2, 15-1, maybe even 16-0.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of their defense, but because of how high-powered their offense should have been, especially with them grabbing Stephon Diggs from the Vikings.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, he ended up playing a huge factor. He easily became Josh Allen's favorite target last year.
Oh yeah, and he was
proved that offense immensely.
And he was able to get the targets up higher over the defenses into the end zones extremely easily.
But the team struggled through the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yes.
I mean, they almost lost to the Raiders.
Almost.
Mind you, the Raiders managed to find some way to beat themselves in that game. Because it was close. They were keeping it close.
And then the defense just kept hitting themselves on the head.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it seemed like. But they made some more improvements on offense in the offseason. They made some big improvements on defense. So I think you and I were both in agreement when we came to this prediction of 14-3.
Oh, yeah.
So they pick up that extra game. They pretty much stay the same, but they pick up that extra game.
Yep. And
of course, they're going to be winning the division for several years now unless Mac Jones comes in and is just the second coming of Tom Brady.
That one will be scary.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But moving on.
We go to the Miami Dolphins.
Your team.
My team.
Yep.
The record was 10-6 last season with an offense rank of 22 and a defense rank of 20th. Not even in the top 15. And how did they get 10 wins?
I don't know.
I'm still.
They got gifted one by the Raiders. It seems like everybody in this division got gifted one by the Raiders except for the Jets.
Yeah, but basically we got two gifted. One from the Raiders and one from the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, late in the season, the Patriots were also gifting everybody wins.
Yeah, but they did pick up a couple offensive players, two of them in the draft, and they did pick up a couple defensive players through the offseason.
Yeah.
So that's gonna help them a little bit, but now it really comes down: can Tua really play his part in starting?
Yeah, and this was another one that we came to an agreement on in the prediction.
But it could be one slightly different, but we agreed on to 9-8. But if they're able to play well from the get-go, they could go 10-7 and just lose that extra game.
And here's the thing too. So obviously, the rumors are floating around that the Dolphins are a possible landing spot for Deshaun Watson, even though everything coming out of Houston basically says that no one's even close to actually getting him in a trade right now. Reports have been coming out saying that the Dolphins are a front runner to land him. So if somehow, some way, the Dolphins can land Deshaun Watson before the season starts, which obviously is tomorrow. So that's obviously probably not going to happen, and Houston's most likely going to hold on to Watson for the season. But I mean, if they could somehow get their hands on Deshaun Watson, I easily see them picking up possibly 2 or 3 more games.
Oh, definitely.
So that record could jump up from 9-8 or 10-7 to possibly a 12-5.
12-5, 13-4. Something though, depending
13-4 might be pushing it because you're talking about a quarterback coming into a completely different system than what he's used to.
Yeah.
Even though he is quite talented,
No,
you do still expect some struggles.
But he But we've always seen it from when he was a rookie. He knows how to jump onto a system and work extremely well right away.
Yeah.
So we did see that already, and I don't think that's going to change.
And they could very well be. So, but obviously everybody's still kind of waiting to see what ends up happening with Deshaun Watson. The trade deadline is week 9, I believe.
I believe so.
So
week 9 or 10?
I think it's week 9. I think it's before week 10.
Like dead halfway through the season.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll know by then whether or not Deshaun Watson's going to be on the move before next offseason.
Yep.
Obviously, that's a fair bit of time away. But next up, we have the New England Patriots in third place at a record of 7-9 with an offensive ranking of 27th and a defensive ranking of 15th. Obviously, defense not terrible, not great, but not terrible. And then offense was just horrible. And that's mainly because, one of the things that you and I kind of talked about was the fact that the only way last year was going to be good for the Patriots was if they had the Cam Newton that led the Panthers to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Not the Cam Newton that had played for the Panthers the last couple of years.
Yes.
Unfortunately, New England got the Cam Newton that had played for the Panthers the last couple of years.
Yep.
And that's what we were afraid of.
And it kind of bit them in the butt.
Yeah. It seemed to be going fine there early in the season. Like I said, he had a few ups and downs. It was expected to have him to have struggles. He was a quarterback coming into a new system with a new head coach who did things completely differently from the one that he just came from.
But now Cam Newton is actually going to be the backup.
Yeah, pretty much. Mac Jones. The Patriots are Mac Jones' team now.
When Newton went out with that 5-day COVID misunderstanding, Mac Jones, when he played that game on the preseason, he ended up getting that spot because he played extremely well.
Preseason though.
Yeah.
He fought hard to earn that starting job.
And he
really did.
And he deserves it.
And I think so too. I'm not expecting anything miraculous from the Patriots right away.
No.
But I definitely think that you could see them have a better season than last year.
I can see them in the first five games, them at least taking 3 of the 5.
Yeah.
Because Mac Jones has been on fire throughout the entire preseason, and if he continues it, he can easily take 3 of the 5.
Yeah. However, like I said, I want to take it with a grain of salt because he is a rookie. There is that potential of him not being able to, stay up to caliber the entire season. Rarely ever do you see a rookie quarterback just come in and take over.
Patrick Mahomes.
He didn't even come in and take over. Remember, he sat behind Alex Smith for a year.
Yeah, but when he did, he really didn't get any playing time when he was the backup of Alex Smith. But the first year he came in, he balled out.
Oh yeah.
And it showed. It's like
everybody realized that Mahomes was something special right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right from that very first game. But I mean, obviously, we're thinking that Mac Jones has the potential to improve this team. God help the rest of the AFC West or AFC East if he ends up being the second coming of Tom Brady.
Well, he's always saying he's the new Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So, and that way put a giant dog on him.
Like I said, God help the rest of the AFC East if he can back that claim up.
Yep. Which ends up going with all next.
Well,
we'd even say our prediction.
Our prediction for New England Patriots. Once again, we were unanimous on this one. We have them at 9-8 as well.
Yes.
Somewhere right around there.
But if he does actually, depending on how his first 5 games go, they can either drop to 7-9 or they can jump up to 10-7. 10-7.
Yeah, I don't see them winning more than 10, maybe 11 games if they're really lucky.
Yeah.
They did do a lot to improve that defense this year. They went out and got some stars. Obviously, one of the biggest, I think one of the biggest moves of the offseason for the Patriots outside of drafting Mac Jones was going and getting Nelson Aguilar from the Raiders, from basically stealing him away from the Raiders, because he had a resurgence in his career last year with Derek Carr and the Raiders.
Yeah.
He came in, played extremely well. Now he's over with the Patriots. Obviously, Patriots have this unspoken thing about bringing in wide receivers who look like they're on their last leg of their career and having them come in and play extremely well. Look what happened with Randy Moss.
Yeah.
You know, everybody thought his career was done after Oakland, and then he just came in and lit it up with Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
So
he was something. Randy Moss was something special.
Yeah. So I think a
interesting,
lot of people are
but he was
maybe
special.
hoping we get a similar thing here between Mac Jones and Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would hate to see that against Dolphins, but I would love to see it.
Well, you're going to have to see it twice a year.
But we'll have to wait and see if that actually pans out,
Yeah.
which goes into next team and the last team in this conference, the New York Jets.
Division.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Division, the New York Jets. And their record last year was dead awful. It was 2-14. I guarantee no one really expected them anything more than that, except for the Jets fans. I highly doubt even them. And now with the New York Jets, the record last season was 2-14, which was not great. I don't think any of us really expected it to be that great.
No. Didn't expect it to be that bad either.
Oh no, I expected it to be bad regardless. It's the Jets. And so, but the offense ranking was 32 and their defense ranked 24.
Yeah. So their offense just absolutely could not get any worse. Their defense could have gotten worse, but thankfully it didn't, I guess.
Yeah, they picked up a good couple players in the offseason for the defense, and they did pick up a new quarterback for the offense and did pick up a few different assets to go with that.
Yeah, but obviously we're not going to expect a complete turnaround right away. I mean, obviously, most likely they were tanking to try and get Trevor Lawrence. Apparently they couldn't even do that good enough because they managed to win a game that they shouldn't have.
Which was against who?
Jacksonville. And so, they couldn't complete that. Obviously, both you and I think that Zach Wilson is the better quarterback out of him and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
We see that he has more potential. He looks already more NFL ready than Trevor Lawrence does. We watched both of their combines. We thought he looked miles ahead of Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't care how much further Trevor Lawrence's college team went in the college playoffs. What matters is, who's ready to perform in the NFL. But obviously, new head coach, new coaching staff, new rookie quarterback. Not going to expect a complete turnaround in year one.
No.
We do expect a bit of an improvement, which is why we came up with the prediction we did.
Which is 5-12.
And that, a few more wins. Maybe you could end up looking at 6 or 7 if they get off to a really hot start.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But probably not more than that.
Because they already have good weapons, and now they're just adding on to it.
Yeah. They made some good moves. Obviously, they just recently picked up Shaq Lawson from the Texans. So that improves their defense quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So that should help. But we're not, like I said, we're not expecting a complete 100% turnaround. They're not going to be making the Super Bowl this year, that's for sure.
We're not looking at a 15-3 season.
Yeah, no.
That would be if they do that, that's going to be a whole different change.
That would be insane.
So, but we're not looking at that. We're looking more at 5-12. If they can squeeze out 6 or 7 wins out of that would be even better.
Yeah. So overall, we're not looking at too much changing of places. Pretty much the only place changing that we're seeing could possibly happen would be between New England and Miami.
Yeah, flip-flopping.
Yeah.
So basically, Buffalo Bills will take the division.
Going 14-3.
Going 14-3 with either Miami or New England taking the 2 spot and taking the 3 spot,
Yeah.
with the New York Jets taking last with 5-12.
Yeah. Yeah, and right now we have both Miami and New England at 9-8. They could end up, losing one more game than that. They could end up winning one more game than that, but we expect either one of those two to be
Around
number
there.
2 or 3 in the division.
Yeah.
So, with that, that's pretty much it for all we have for the AFC East.
Yep.
So let us know what you think about our predictions down in the comments. We thank you for joining us today, and we hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the last day of our divisional breakdown as we cover the AFC West.
Let's go West.
Not to mention, guess what's tomorrow? Week
1 starts.
Yep. So we're all excited about that. We've had fun doing this divisional breakdown. Like I said, we hope you join us again tomorrow. And until then, we'll see you guys later.
Have a good one.